Today, I'm going to show you how to use one variable to control multiple things and create a personalized journey. Let's jump in. What we're going to make is this recipe app. In the onboarding, the user will be able to tell us what are their cuisine preferences, and those are the only cuisines that we will show them. We will also allow them to change those preferences later on. The first thing I need to do is make my cuisine buttons, and they're going to be like a little toggle button that changes color if it's selected. So I'll duplicate this one. So I'll make the fill color this purple, and then the text inside I'll just make white. So now I need to connect these buttons, right? So I'll create a component set, and the property is going to be selected. This one is going to be false, and this one is going to be true. Wonderful. Now let's prototype these. I'm going to Shift E to get to my prototyping panel, and then drag a noodle between these two. Say on tap, change to selected, make it smart animate just so it's a bit fancy, and the other way as well. So I have my button set up, easy peasy. Now let's put this button in our onboarding page. So I'll copy my button and paste it into my preferences page. Just paste it over here, and then I'll Shift A to put it into an auto layout. I'll select the wrap auto layout to make it into a grid, and I'll just move it here. Yeah, 10, 10, 10 is kind of fine for me. I'll probably use 16 for the sides actually. Yeah, lovely. So let's start writing in our cuisines. I'm just going to use some basic cuisines that you can usually see on any recipes or food delivery app. So you can see when I copied that one, it kind of kept going. If you remember from my auto layout session, if you are on a wrap setting, the auto layout will just keep growing to the side until it can't do that anymore. Because it's set to hug, it doesn't have a limit. So I'm going to set it to fixed and then just move it in to be the size of the screen, so it knows once it reaches there, it has to go underneath. Great, so I've created a few of these here and I'm kind of happy with it. I don't love that they're all different sizes, so I might just select all of the children, clicking on enter, and make them all, let's say 120. Ooh, no, too big. 100? Maybe 110. Lovely. Perfect. So I've got all of my buttons. Now, just to test this quickly, I'm going to select my frame and Shift and space to bring in the prototyping preview. Then I can see that when I select any of these, they swap to the selected state. And when I unclick them, it does that. Now, this is lovely, but it does nothing. Now let's connect them using our variable. I'll open local variables and create my first Boolean variable. And I'm just going to create a single variable per cuisine. So Italian. Little top tip for you. If you want to duplicate the same variable you just made, you can use Shift and enter to create a new one. So each one of these cuisines has a single Boolean variable, and that variable is going to control everything. Let's connect it now. So a Boolean variable has a true and false state to it. Now, if you remember from like a few minutes ago, we made something else in our design that has a true and false state to it. This one is going to be false, and this one is going to be true. So what we can do is we can connect those two together. If I select my Italian button over here, and I look in the design panel, you will see that in the same place where I can change to a different variant, I can also assign a variable. So if I assign the variable Italian to here, nothing will change, right? Because when I set my variables, I set that the value of Italian is false. But if I change it to true, look what happened, that button changed, okay? So I'm now going to connect all my cuisine buttons to their respective cuisine variables. Now that I did that, when I'll run this prototype again, Shift and space, it will work and nothing will look different, okay? But we know that we can now use this variable to control other things. Now, if you've used Boolean variables before, you know that a Boolean variable can be used to hide or show a layer. So for example, if I look at this pasta kind of recipe box over here, if I connect it to the Italian Boolean variable, that Boolean variable will toggle whether it is shown or not. In order to connect a Boolean variable, you need to right-click on the little I in the layers section. So I'm right-clicking, connecting it to Italian. Now remember, Italian is false. So the second I do that, that will disappear. Let's test it out, shall we? I'm going to select my home, my preferences, and Shift and space. I'm gonna click on Italian. So we know that that has now toggled the Italian Boolean variable to true. When I click on next, I've already connected those for you. We will now see this pasta. Even though in our design we don't see it, we can see it in the recipe. So all we need to do now is go food by food and connect them to their appropriate cuisine. So let's see, hamburger, ribs, steak, and salmon. I'm gonna right click on layer and say that they're American foods. Great. Now what will happen is that this is going to be a bit empty, which is a bit sad, but that's fine because we know that when we go into Sunshine Home over here and select Shift and Space and select American, sushi, and breakfast, when they click on next, they will be able to see all of the recipes that match that. Now this is happening because I need to clip the content. Great, so let's try that again. Italian, salad, and breakfast. Lovely. Now, what if our user clicks on next and then they have nothing here, right? We've kind of blocked them. So what we can do is, because we've set this up once, again, we've already done this one time, all we need to do is copy it elsewhere. I'm gonna copy it, Command C, and bring it into this little preferences box, Command V, and then I'll connect these two, so Shift and E, I'll click on my little filters button here, connect it to this preferences drawer. I'm not going to use navigate to, I'll use open overlay at the bottom. Lovely. And then this apply button is just going to close the overlay. So let's have a look at that. I've selected no preferences, click on next. I see nothing. I'll click on my filters and then this will come up and I can add them right here, apply. And you will see that we have all of the ones that we've applied. And the same will happen if I'll run it again. I've selected Italian and chicken, for example. I'll see only the Italian and the chicken. Then when I go into preferences, they will already be pre-selected. Okay, so simple. One variable, one little tiny Boolean variable can make such a huge difference on your design. And you can use this moving forward. If you have an entire flow, that Boolean variable will carry throughout. And you didn't need to do any prototyping with the variable, no conditionals, no setting of the variables, nothing. You just set it once in the correct place and it will just help you throughout your entire journey. And that was a short little video today. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what other videos you want to see. What's the one thing that you're like, oh, I wish I knew how to do this, because I'm here to help and I love troubleshooting. I hope you enjoyed. See you at the next one.